Well, it's lovely to have you with us on this Friday afternoon, and there is the beautiful sight that is the arrival of the royal party. In the glorious sunshine, Charlotte Hawkins and Bruscott once again are our royal party here. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Now, reveal who's in that first carriage, Charlotte.
In the first carriage is the Duke of Cambridge, the Duchess of Cambridge, the Honourable Arthur Vestey and the Honourable Mrs Vestey as well. Now, for those of you wanting to know more about the Vesteys, they are close friends with the royal family for many years. Arthur is a friend of Prince William's, and his father, Lord Samuel Vestey, was a racing friend of the Queen's, a former master of the horse, former Cheltenham Racecourse chairman, and you can hear the cheers already, can't you, for the Duke of Cambridge and the Duchess of Cambridge. And doesn't she look gorgeous there? Polka dots.
Was that the first ooh and ah we've heard this week for the royal procession?
It might have been, mightn't it? There's a lot of excitement, a lot of speculation every day as to who's going to be in those royal carriages, and I think they have been definitely well received by the crowd today.
I mean, that is the personification of elegance, isn't it?
She's always uber elegant, isn't she? Whatever she wears. They've had a busy week. This week, we know they met Grenfell survivors earlier in the week on the 5th anniversary of that. The Duchess of Cambridge yesterday met the Health Secretary to campaign for children's mental health provision. And here today, they're joining us at Royal Ascot.
And you wonder, the Vesteys, Lord Vestey, Sam, who was such a character, and Cece likewise, how they are missed, Bruff, and how they would have loved this.
Yes, he was a man who was from the nobility, but he was a friend of everybody. He knew everybody's name. It's a great, great trick. Anyone could feel Sam was a friend. We always called him Sam. He said, "My name is Sam." That's a very good characteristic.
We were once invited up to the Royal Box at Cheltenham by Sam Vestey, with the sponsors we were one day, and my daughter, who was a 3 or 4 at the time, was introduced to him, and he was charming. And Lord Vestey goes to my daughter, "What do you think of the Royal Box?" And Polly Chamberlain goes, "It's terribly boring." So off he went into the Queen's cupboard, got a box of chocolates, and the day changed completely.
Lovely.
He was a lovely, lovely man. Carriage number 2 is here, Charlotte.
And in carriage number 2, we have Mr. Peter Phillips, his partner, Mrs. Lindsay Wallace, the Duke of Bedford, and the Duchess of Bedford. And this is Princess Anne's son, Peter Phillips, and his partner. They've been seen out increasingly more frequently at public events together. They're at the Platinum Jubilee concert together. She went to school with Zora Tindall. They're close school friends as well.
As we look at the royal party coming, Bruff, your reflections on yesterday, built up, if you like, as a real royal day, potential royal winner, Stradivarius in the Gold Cup. Was it a big party that had its party balloon pricked?
Well, to some extent, because all sport is a battle of hope against expectation, hoping for the best and expecting the worst. And in a sense, we got one where the worst, the Queen wasn't here, none of her horses won, and Frankie Dettori, who was going to be his great, great day riding for the Queen and winning of Stradivarius, he blew out, and then it suddenly, has Frankie gone stories. But that's what happens in sport.
I loved it, because that is the unpredictability of sport. Carriage 3, this is, Charlotte.
And in carriage 3, we have the Viscount Brookborough and the Viscountess Brookborough, Mr. Darby Dennis and Mrs. Darby Dennis. Now, the Brookboroughs were in a carriage yesterday as well. The Viscount Brookborough is Lord-in-Waiting to the Queen. He has been since 1997. And Mr. Darby Dennis, former director of Newmarket Racecourse. He has over 20 years' experience as a racecourse steward, a member of the Jockey Club as well.
And in carriage 4, that's a stunning colour. Look at that, yellow in the sunshine.
Glorious. They are going to be seen by all the crowds, aren't they? We have Mr. Richard Osgood, Mrs. Richard Osgood, Mr. Nico de Boinville and Mrs. Nico de Boinville. Now, Richard Osgood, a former clerk of the course at Newbury, he retired in 2019, had a 39-year association with the course.
He was my first boss.
Was it indeed?
That shows how long he was there.
Shall I catch up and see what stories he's got to tell about you?
Oh dear, it was in about 1989. Richard knows. In those days he had a big moustache, Bruff. Did Richard.
Yeah.
Lovely man.
He was very impressive.
I was the assistant plumber. John, he was called. I can't remember John's surname. John was the main plumber at Newbury. I was the assistant
Were
plumber.
you any good?
I was hopeless, and on race days I was in charge of the fire alarm. That was my only responsibility, and blockages on level 5 type thing. I didn't last very long, but he was great. That shows you his longevity in that job, shows you how good he was at it.
Brilliant. And let me tell you a bit more about Nico de Boinville, who, as you know, leading jump jockey, Cheltenham Gold Cup winner. And and he's ridden plenty of winners for the Queen. On Derby Day, he would have been in that Guard of Honour, but he was riding the Queen's horse, Stealer March, at Worcester Racecourse, and he won.
That's probably why he's got the invite, wasn't it?
So maybe that's it, exactly.
On Derby Day. Now the boys have gone out amongst the crowd. Where are you guys?
Here at the Windsor enclosure, aren't we? The anticipation is building wonderfully. Here they are. Well, as you can see, I think the crowd were extremely happy. They've been waiting on the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, and there they had them.
Yes, absolutely fantastic. Like you say, this is a big part of a lot of people's Royal Ascot experience. You know, the royal festivities, people love it. The cheers in the background, as you can hear, getting their camera phones out, capturing that memory. It's lovely to see.
It really is. Absolutely. Very, very happy day here.
Which is lovely to see. And as Chris explained earlier in the week, you can come to Royal Ascot. I think the ticket into the Windsor enclosure on Tuesday was £26 or £30. People bringing picnics. The ethos here it really is, Charlotte, as you've experienced around the racecourse. There's something for everyone here, isn't there?
I think that's the lovely thing, isn't it? You know, whether you want to be in the royal enclosure or whether you want to come and enjoy the festival atmosphere at the village, that people can enjoy it in all sorts of different ways. You can bring your own picnic, bring a picnic rug, and you can still be right up there to the barrier, and you can see the royal procession as it comes past. And that's the lovely thing about it, being inclusive for everybody.
Duchess of Cambridge. I mean, she must have that hat very well tied down. That's brave, because thankfully it is breezy on this really hot day.
Well, we were saying hottest day of the year so far, but because we've got the breeze, because we've got the wind, actually it means it's not too warm at the moment, but no doubt with that sun beating down, it certainly will be.
What was it like yesterday? Because I was talking about crowd sizes earlier in the week, around 40,000 on day one, a little bit less than that on Wednesday. And yesterday, with the village opening up, it was over 60,000. I thought they were going to cap it a bit lower than that. What was it like out there?
Oh, it was a great atmosphere. And I think, you know, they've limited numbers in certain enclosures, and you can definitely feel there's more space. They wanted to space things out. They wanted to improve the experience for racegoers. And I really feel it has. People have got more room to move around. But at the same time, still feel that sort of thrill of being amongst the crowd.
What have you made? I asked Stranchi earlier on the 3 days. How would you sum up the 3 days we've had here so far, Bruv?
I think it's worked very well, frankly. We've had the drama. We've also had the Australian deal, which I think is the highlight so far. There are horses come up from Australia and win so impressively. And it is, as Charles has been saying, it's unique. And the situation we're looking at now, that image is unique, not just in British life, but in life.
Was most definitely the biggest roar of the week.
It absolutely was, wasn't it? There's
It
gonna be
has
so much
been. We
excitement.
talked about the Royal Box of Wimbledon, didn't we? And whether they might think about bringing big names into the carriages to try and get the crowd going. So it has been just a little bit low-key. This might be different, mightn't it now?
It's not quite the same for people, I think, is it, when the Queen's not here? But I think, you know, to see the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge here, obviously so well received by the crowd. As we look around beside us now, everyone waiting for the first glimpse of the carriage here. And I can just tell there's a definite air of excitement, isn't there, as to when they first see them.
And this is the same walkway, bruv. The winner takes under that archway, and you keep turning left past the crowds. All sorts of restaurants in the main stand behind there. Look at that smile. And this is the final tunnel you go under to come into the paddock here. With the youngsters, you were saying, bruv, riding the horses.
Yeah, the average is 26. I must tell you, 3 of the bay horses today, especially put on, they're called Cambridge, George and Louis.
Isn't that wonderful? There goes the cheer as they catch a glimpse of them for the first time.
Bigger one coming in a second, Charlotte. archers again just look so stunning in the sunshine. Have you done some research? Have you been researching
I might have been. I did
carriages
take
and the Rolls Royce?
an
Did you do your
up-close
homework?
look. I did indeed, because we know that it was specially commissioned by the Duke of Edinburgh. That Rolls-Royce Phantom 4, 1952. He heard about it, he test drove it back in 1948, liked it so much that he put an order in for one. It was delivered to the royal couple in 1950, painted green originally, and then on her accession they painted it in the sovereign's colour scheme of claret and black.
Very good, Charlotte. Going right past us now. Paddock is absolutely packed today.
Listen to those cheers.
And what's so important, Bruff, is for the sport to connect, particularly with these two, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, in years to come. Ideally, Ascot and the sport of horse racing need them to engage, don't they, Bruff?
I think so, and